Hey guys, Level Cap here, and welcome to This Week in Gaming, your weekly news update for everything going on in the world of video games. And this week we finally got a look at what's coming with Battlefield 6 Season 2. PlayStation dropped the mic after they announced tons of incredible looking games. Highguard's developers got hit hard with some bad news and much more. Battlefield 6 gameplay was revealed this week alongside a roadmap outlining all of the content coming with the update. It kicks off next week on the 17th, adding a new map called Contaminated, some updates to RedSec, the Little Bird helicopter, 3 new guns, a new gadget, and a new rocket launcher. Now, a month later, on March 17th, another new map called Hegental Base will launch, which is a close-quarter interior map. We'll also get Nightfall, a limited-time mode with NVGs, plus more RedSec updates, 2 new guns, and a dirt bike. Season 2's final content drop will launch on April 14th, but it's pretty light on actual content with just a new limited time mode, portal updates, and an additional battle pass path. There's also a new ground vehicle that looks really similar to what we have and a new melee weapon. Generally speaking, when looking at the roadmap, people are getting the impression that this just isn't enough. 3 months with just 2 new maps and a handful of weapons is spreading things a bit thin. For most gamers who need that constant feed of content and new things to do, there's a lot of alternative titles to turn to. But live service games live and die by their retention stats, and it's starting to look like DICE may not be able to deliver enough content to keep players engaged between updates. Hopefully that's not the case and that they just need to sort of get into gear, but it is Season 2 and it seems like we're just getting 2 new maps once again. PlayStation came out swinging this week with a flurry of announcements during their latest State of Play event. Some of the higher profile announcements include Death Stranding 2 getting a PC release on March 19th, a demo of the upcoming sci-fi adventure game Pragmata is now available, a new Dead or Alive game is in the works for a June 25th release, we got a gameplay trailer for Control Resonant that looks epic, the original Rayman got a massive re-release including 5 versions of the original game, Star Wars Galactic Racer gameplay was revealed, and pod racing is back on the menu. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 was announced with Guns of the Patriots and Peace Walker both included. Silent Hill Townfall got a proper trailer with gameplay, and a remake of the original God of War trilogy was announced. All in all, it was easily one of the most hyped up State of Play events in recent memory. Highguard, the recently released kind of MOBA-like FPS style game that got a ton of hype from the Game Awards, well, unfortunately they couldn't convert that hype into a sustained player base, and it looks like the studio is responding. Most employees have been laid off, and it looks like the game will be kept on life support with no additional content updates. One dev released a statement lamenting that many of the employees affected by the layoffs will likely have to go back to the corporate game dev industry for work. Highguard was developed by an independently operated studio who also self-published the title. Layoffs also hit 2 other studios this week. Riot let go 80 developers who were working on their fighter game 2XKO. The game launched a few weeks ago on consoles and hit PC in late 2025. The layoffs represent about half of the developers on the title. The Long Dark developer Hinterland also laid off 14 developers who were working on the studio's upcoming sequel, Black Frost: The Long Dark 2. It sounds like the layoffs were a result of the game being behind schedule. It was positioned for a 2026 early access launch, but the statement announcing the layoffs makes it sound like they're going to miss that target and need to downscale to reduce costs. In some happier news, the latest game by Binding of Isaac creator Edmund McMillan made back its 7-year-long development budget within 3 hours of launch. Mewgenics is a roguelike, turn-based isometric game with cat characters that you guide in battle. It's been in off-and-on development for 12 years, but was in active development for the last 7. The game launched this week to positive reviews and so far has already over 80,000 peak concurrent players. Helldivers 2 is having a bit of a resurgence thanks to its latest update. Machinery of Oppression kicks off a new campaign on the cyborg planet Cyberstan. This is basically like Aragorn storming the gates of Mordor. It's a huge turn for the game and really amps up the narrative of the conflict. So far, the game has seen a boost back to over 150,000 concurrent players, which is the first time it's seen those numbers in months. Arc Raiders is also doing some insane numbers. It's currently seeing 6 million active players per week and has sold over 14 million copies since launch. To put those numbers into context, estimates put World of Warcraft's monthly player count at around 9.7 million players. So Arc Raiders doing 6 million players per week is just astronomical. The latest update for No Man's Sky takes the game in yet another unexpected direction. The Remnant update adds sanitation as a whole new branch of gameplay. Players can use exo vehicles to harvest and recycle space trash, turning it into useful materials for crafting or trade. But the mechanics take a page from Death Stranding and Star Citizen, with the materials being physicalized in the world. So one wrong move and your haul of space junk is going overboard and potentially getting destroyed in the process. And as with most No Man's Sky updates, the general overview really doesn't do the depth of this update any justice. It's just crazy to see the game continue to get so many free updates like this many years after launch without the updates feeling stale or uninteresting. Valve's upcoming Steam Machine and Steam Frame have been delayed to evaluate pricing. It seems like Valve is also running out of Steam Decks. None of the models Valve sells are in stock in the US, and many regions abroad are seeing similar supply issues. With component pricing continuing to skyrocket, it seems like Valve will have to increase the price of the Steam Deck, or at least will have to suffer some massive restock delays. If you were wondering how many copies of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 have been sold since launch, the developers just announced that it's over 5 million. The first game has sold 10 million units since its launch back in 2018. It's tough to say if the sequel will beat that record, but considering how quickly it hit 5 million and how much more universally praised the game has been, it seems likely. In our final story this week, we're circling back to Remedy. The Control and Alan Wake studio has hired a new CEO, Jean-Charles Godeshin. Fans are worried because he previously worked at EA, leading to the company's live service and free-to-play endeavors. He also worked at OneFootball, which is a sports gambling platform. Basically, fans are worried that Godeshin will push to make more traditional titles instead of their usual niche and creative experiences. Remedy posted a pretty serious loss of nearly $20 million in 2025 following the release of FBC Firebreak. The announcement included a statement by the new CEO, who said his commitment is to protect what makes it special, deliver exceptional games, and scale Remedy in a way that builds lasting value. So hopefully the studio can find a way to get their budget in the green without sacrificing what has made them such a cult hit with fans. Now, if you enjoyed today's news video, don't forget to drop me a like, subscribe for more content like it, and up next, check out this video on Star Wars Genesis, an insane mod for Starfield that turns it into one of the most impressive open world Star Wars games I've ever played. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.